There's no way to make abortion unthinkable without a heart change. As a political economist, trying to understand what was happening, and I came to the conclusion that we are losing because we do not penetrate the middle of the electorate, which decides these things. You got people on one side, the people on the other side, and the other side was able to spend a lot of money and lie and swing those people over to their side and beat us. And that's why I think we need involved in the public square.
In the heart of Texas, in a college town better known for football Saturdays and green and gold pride, one man has been quietly, yet unmistakably shaping the local pro-life landscape for nearly 3 decades. John Pisciotta didn't start out as an activist. He spent 32 years teaching economics at Barry University, guiding students through supply, demand, and the rhythms of the marketplace. But outside the classroom, he was studying something else: the cultural forces shaping his community and the moral battles unfolding right in his own backyard. In 1996, with a simple conviction and a whole lot of courage, John founded Pro-Life Waco. What began as a small local initiative has grown into a forceful grassroots movement, one that stands in the public square, on the sidewalks, at fairgrounds, and in countless conversations across Waco. He's never been afraid to take the fight to unexpected places. For instance, in 2004, John led a boycott of Thin Mints over the local Girl Scouts' ties to Planned Parenthood. The story exploded, and NBC's Today Show, Fox News, and other headlines across the country carried it. And in Waco, it led to the complete severing of that relationship. John's work continued to grow. The pro-life billboard truck named Carolyn, the Second Sunday gatherings over pasta and planning, his leadership in Life Chain and 40 Days for Life, and in 2015, his creation of the Hometown Pro-Life Action, a Facebook community that surged to 4,500 members in just a year, building exactly what he hoped for: real, local muscle in the pro-life movement. From his roots in rural Colorado to UT Austin to Barry University and now into the public square of Waco, John Pisciotta has spent his life putting conviction into action. Today we talk about where that fire comes from, what he's learning along the way, and why he believes hometown activism still matters more than ever. This is Living Pro-Life. Hey, thanks for listening to Living Pro-Life. Make sure to be part of the growing base of people making Coalition Life happen. And so we ask you today, please consider donating $1 for our One Life campaign. Your $1 can help build a culture of life. Your $1 can help save a baby from the tragedy of abortion. Your $1 can help women in need who need us more than ever. Consider donating $1 today, supporting our mission here at Coalition Life, and ultimately helping to end abortion throughout our great country. Now back to Living Pro-Life.
Hey, welcome, John. I appreciate you being on the program.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Not all that near to you, but we're connected.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really excited to have you on yet another episode of Living Pro-Life. And you're down there in the great state of Texas, down there in Waco. You started the organization down there in Waco, Texas, a while back. So tell us about how that began.
Well, a while back, right after 30 years, 1995 was the beginning, and I got a few people together and say, we want to build to a national movement. No, that wasn't what happened. We just started very slowly. Action. Yeah, and we've been a local organization. Right, Waco's right in the middle of Texas, and we're in McLennan County. So that was our vision. Let's do what we can in our hometown. One of our activists said, John, if I would write a one-page newsletter, would you pay to print it and send it out to 25 people? And I said, yes. So that's what I traced the beginning of Pro-Life Waco. What was our 501c3? We had no 501. We were just a group of people. That's all. But as I look back now, when did it begin? That's how it began. in 1994, Planned Parenthood had opened an abortion center in Waco. So that stimulates a lot, as you know. And so there were other organizations, other people. Rusty Thomas was living in Waco at that time with Operation Rescue. There was a local organization called Right to Life, Waco Right to Life. And I was just there as a supporter. I was involved. I was committed to doing something. And one day I looked around and Rusty had moved on to the national scene. The other leaders locally, they've moved on to other cities and so forth. I said, I think I'm the leader now. and so we persisted. And so, we did, I say that there's different branches, thinking locally. There's the pregnancy care center branch. There's the sidewalk counseling branch. There's the prayer vigil branch. And then there's the public square outreach branch. And that's getting out in the public broadly, trying to engage the pro-lifers and the anti-lifers, but most of all, the mushy middle or the undecided middle.
Yeah.
To communicate with them. And so we have activities in the street right now to carry the message to our neighbors. So we have a cycle of 5 events every month. Every month we're out there.
Incredible. Things grew from there. So it sounds like it's much larger than Waco, Texas now, although we do love Texas.
It grew as that kernel in Waco. And one of the things that kind of big event of the history of Pro-Life Waco, in 2004, we had a local boycott of Girl Scout cookies in Waco. It became a national story. I was interviewed on the 700 Club, Hannity and Combs. I was interviewed on the Today Show. And it was crazy. Within 17 days of our campaigns with an advertisement on a local Christian station, the Girl Scouts decided to end, they agreed, their board decided to end their relationship with Planned Parenthood.
Wow.
And, it is something that I find very gratifying. We read that since the story broke nationally, we had a role to play in educating a lot of moms and dads across America about the realities of these organizations like Planned Parenthood and those that associate with them, unfortunately, like the girl sites. So we just kept plugging away and doing our continuous events. We do Life Change, not once a year, not once a year, we do it once a month. And other activities that we have. And the overpass outreach. We were out at the Heart of Texas Fair for many years. So just where can we engage? Those people in the mushy middle, they're not going to come and knock on my door and say, hey, John, I see those yard signs out. What? Tell me why you're pro-life. I've never had that conversation. We have to take it to them respectfully. And so that when they didn't go out for the message, but we were there to give them the message. Like at the Heart of Texas Fair. Everybody enjoying at the fair. And it's one place they're going up and down the aisles. Oh, there's pro-life. And there's our baby models and so forth. A lot happened at the fair.
So, John, tell us a few of those stories of maybe some successes and of those conversations you've had.
Oh, gee. I encourage everyone to go to the Pro-Life Public Square website. I think at a time we're going to be specific on the URL, but I have a section there, and I talk about 5 victories, and one of them was the Girl Scouts. Another was regarding Planned Parenthood and abortion. They opened up a new abortion facility in 2000, at the end of 2017, and a local magazine ran a full-page ad for this event, mentioning, "Hey, you can get abortions here." Okay. Wow. We're one that when an organization jumps out on the other side and say, we're bold and we'll be for abortion, we react and tend to say, we're bold and we will challenge you on this. Yep. So we had some people gently go into the office and say, you shouldn't do this. We ask you not to do this anymore. They dismissed us. I had some 4x4 signs. They had about 5 or 6 of them, and they had some other signs. Oh, I've got signs in my garage just full of signs. So we said, okay, we'll go up there once a month. You got to be persistent. One-time shots. Don't do it. Might as well just you're wasting your money. We'll go out there once a month, and they were exposed in the public square very badly for that. Very bad, a lot of traffic, one of the main streets. We were out there once a month for about an hour and a half, walking up and down, and then back on my my dining room table, the telephone rang one day. It was their attorney saying, "We want to wave the white flag, and John, you have to stop this."
Wow.
Well, we could talk about that. It's just very simple. I didn't like the ads. So I said that you have to agree that this organization will never take an ad from Planned Parenthood again. I mean, I had him. I mean, he told me, he says, the owner's not sleeping at night. Because I know, we had 3 times in a row. What's going to happen next? They're going to be there again.
Heck yeah.
And I agreed that I would not issue a news release about a victory here. And that it's over. It's over. And so that was a victory. And then, we're out there, in the public square, and people see us.
Yep.
And people were very supportive. Oh, of course. Does anyone give us a finger at times? Of course they do.
Pointing up to heaven is what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And but that's part of the deal, and it's okay. You expect that. So that was a victory. 2022, a woman on the city council said, "Yeah, we had Dobbs had come down, and the abortion ban was in place in Texas." It was pretty hot in Texas that summer, and it was hot in the pro-life movement as well. And so there were some cities around the country, around the state, and we're getting some called the Grace Act. And what it was to proclaim that the police department of that city would not enforce the abortion ban.
Wow.
And she wanted us to do that in Waco. Well, we're a pretty pro-life city, and people were lighting up about our city before I did anything. I had a couple of people say, what are you going to do, John? And so we organized to be there at the next city council meeting. And there's allies in the city. So all what we do, the Republican Women's Group was active, and people that have different presences on Facebook and the internet. We had over 300 people at the city council meeting.
Wow.
And you could sign up to speak for no more than 3 minutes. The speaking session lasted 4 hours.
Wow.
And we never heard anything more about the Grace Act. And in other cities, there's about 5 cities that enacted the Grace Act. So if we I never really will admit that we lose anything. Yeah, some things are more victorious than others, but being out there, you win by being out there, and you shirk from the Lord's will when you say, "Oh, I'll just take a pass on this. We can explain it away. They're not selling abortion pills in my town, so why should I be concerned?" No, that's not the appropriate act. We try to make excuses for action, not make excuses for inaction.
Absolutely. So here we are. We're in a post-Roe versus Wade world. The Supreme Court has overturned Roe versus Wade with the Dobbs decision. And, a lot of pro-lifers around the country thought, hey, let's have a party. Let's enjoy. Let's celebrate. Huge victory. And what do we see? Abortions are about the same amount around the country. Clients are coming, they're now flying to other states, some of them from Texas, but also there are, pills being mailed into all of these other, so-called pro-life states like Texas, where now abortion is somewhat of a black market as well around the country. So what are we to do in this new kind of environment with regards to abortion?
Well, let me say, we celebrated Pro-Life Action League organized around the country that when that decision came down, people were going to have rallies, and it's the first time I've ever rallied without a date and a time for the rally. But we had 70, 80 people out, and I was seeing some of the celebration of people there, and I didn't have that kind of a celebration of we have victory here. I knew. I'm an economist. I taught at Beta for 32 years. We have the supply side and the demand side. The bans influence the supply side. They do not change hearts and minds. There's no way to make abortion unthinkable without a heart change. And that's why I think we need involved in the public square. So, but I was not one when we first lost that we had in Kansas. Shocking. Just months after the Dobbs decision in Pro-Life Kansas, we lost about 60-40, not even close. But I get excited about it. I try to, as a political economist, try to understand what was happening. And I came to the conclusion that we are losing because we do not penetrate the middle of the electorate, which decides these things.
Yep.
You got people on one side, the people on the other side, and the other side was able to spend a lot of money and lie and swing those people over to their side and beat us. Beat us once? No. In 2023, there was an election where abortion was on the ballot in 5 instances. We lost all 5. Then later on, we've lost. Now our record is we have 3 wins and 14 losses. Ohio, we lost twice, where they had a campaign requiring 60%, which we lost, and then we had the vote, and we lost. So I said, we're not in a strong position here.
Yep.
So that made me concerned. And then another thing that made me concerned was the entry, the national announcement. The national announcement made me concerned when CVS and Walgreens says we plan to do it. They hadn't even done it at all. Well, we protested them within months after that.
So what did, just for some of our listeners here, John, what did CVS and Walgreens actually announce?
Well, they accepted the FDA offer. But the FDA was being very proactive and say, abortion centers across the country, if you will train, because they better know what they're doing. This is not Tylenol here. And you want to do abortions, we will give you the okay. You fill prescriptions for abortions, you're wide open with the FDA. And 2 pharmacy chains, CVS and Walgreens, announced within a month or so of that offer, hey, we're here, we're going to do it. Months passed, but then it was March of 2024 that they announced we are selling abortion pills in 6 states. Putting all this together, I'm agitated. The board is agitated. We think we have to engage the middle. I applaud. I love everything that's done at abortion centers. But we can double up what we're doing at abortion centers, and it's not going to change that vote.
Right.
Because we're not engaging broadly. So all those other wings of the pro-life movement, I want them to be as strong as they are right now and stronger. City to city, there is no public square outreach. There is nothing happening, ongoing things where people are going out in the public. I mean, maybe once a year, like Shane. So we talked about this for about 3 or 4 months, and finally we voted, let's create a national organization. We think this should happen. We're not going to try to, it's probably not going to be stimulated by us being a role model sort of in Waco, Texas. We have to get out there and promote it. We have to be a cheerleader and an evangelist for pro-life in the public square. And being an economist again, if you want people to do things, if you subsidize it, there's more chance that they'll do it. So we have 3 initiatives where we're subsidizing, we're paying the bill for people to engage. If people will do at least 4 outreach at CVS and Walgreens, we'll send them 10 quality signs and 100 flyers for chemical abortion. If they will do ongoing, you got to do ongoing like we did at Waco Magazine. And yes, where they said, these people, they're not going to go away. This is not helping us. And I don't see any reason to, and like were they right at Waco Magazine? You bet they were right. And then we have another one that I'll mention that's really taken off. I think our organization is going to make it. I think we're going to live to be a toddler. It's Yard Signs for Life. And we have 6 great yard signs and see, this came out of Pro-Life Waco. So these 2 organizations, you can't imagine there being pro-life in the public square.
Right.
Because there was no Pro-Life Waco. We had no standing. Well, what do you know about it? You never did it. No, we did it for 30 years. We're offering this to churches. We're offering it to individuals. It's kind of a wholesale situation. You have to order at least 10 signs. But those 10 signs, we're selling for $40. $4 a sign.
Awesome.
And what our organization is, but we're losing about $4 on every sign. So every time I get a check for $100, I say, oh boy, we lost $100 today. We'll find the money. We'll find the money to pay for the subsidies. I think the idea that, oh gosh, we've had about 750 sold already. I'm learning on the job. I don't know what I'm doing with this organization, but I'm learning. And I think we have gone from, we're no longer simply an idea. We're a startup. We got some things happening. We got some track. We tried some things that didn't work. We know that. We tried some things that work. The sign, they're coming in. And so I think we got some traction. We're going to keep on going with Pro-Life Waco. We're going to keep doing our local stuff. But we're adding to that. And I'm 81. It's demanding to add to that.
John, just for those who are listening today, tell us how they can get access to these signs and to the events.
Well, the URL for our website is www.prolifepublicsquare.com. You'll find our program offers, and it'll tell you it'll show you the signs. My email address is prolifewaco@gmail. So anybody send me an email, and I'll make sure that you're on track. But I'm getting orders just about every day. Not every day. I'm not saying the orders are swamped. For one person.
Well, once we hear this broadcast, you'll get orders all over.
Well, that's why I welcome because it's not that massively across the country people heard what we had to offer and said no. Most people do not know we exist.
Yeah.
So what we got to do is build awareness. I think we have something with the signs of promoting the Catholic dioceses nationwide, and that's working well. Life chain people in the right to life at the state level, like in Missouri and wherever. A lot of times they had a lot of county affiliates. This is ideal for the county affiliates. Have a yard sign campaign, buy 50, 60 signs, and have them on doorsteps. People will see them. I call them mini billboards. It's very powerful, and it's saying. In one way, it's better than a billboard. A yard sign is saying the people at this home are personally committed to life.
Yes.
And we would like you to be committed too.
For those who are listening today and they're thinking, well, okay, I'll put a yard sign in my yard. Maybe I'll go to a town hall meeting here or there. But, how can I really have, beyond those things, what's the next 5, 10, 20 years? What's kind of that long path based on kind of your history of maybe some mistakes along the way, things that you think we can communicate to the people who are listening today, like, hey, do this, but don't do this. And any advice you might have for them?
Well, mainly is to do this. I don't see many things happening that, gosh, they shouldn't be doing that. Occasionally that happens, but mainly it is just our absence. And so the kinds of, I divide, okay, we got public square outreach, and that's where you're trying to engage the broad cross section of a community. That's what public square outreach is. And then I divide that into 3 parts. One, there's fixed signs, billboards and yard signs, boots on the ground with signs and flyers. So in the tradition of the movement, every community ought to be doing life chain. Okay, do life chain. If there's an abortion facility nearby, there might be probably people doing sidewalk counseling. Well, we have one event where we're holding signs in front of Planned Parenthood, even though Planned Parenthood is not open right now. Another is overpass outreach. The untapped opportunities across America with substantial overpasses with massive numbers of people. going underneath them. Day after day, nothing happens.
Give us a little bit. So what is, for those who are listening, what is overpass outreach? Like what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I say pedestrian overpass outreach. That's a situation where at a heavy location, very often by universities where there's a lot of foot traffic, they will build an overpass over a main highway where you can climb the stairs and walk across. And there's a wire mesh enclosure around and so we will be up there from 5 to 6:30. Hopefully about 10 of us holding signs proclaiming life up there. So that's what, and people see it. Oh, people say, "Oh, I saw you up there. Yeah, that's us." And so, okay, but that's boots on. Well, not that's boots up in the air, maybe, but the boots on solid ground. We do that, and then of course we're doing pharmacy outreach twice a month. So that kind of rounds out what we do every. But the untapped opportunities, if you're not doing life change in your cities, at least 400 people. And sometimes with these small cities are great untapped. I'm wandering a little bit. But small cities often have rather major highways running through them. You're from Texas, 287 going across the north of Texas. These little towns of 2,000 people, and they're just massive traffic flowing. You could have a billboard at the edge of town. That's one of our support programs. Or get yard signs along that. And you can be communicating to that community. There's just so much silence out there. Okay, but I said, I'm going to say the three things, wings of pro-life. Okay, one was fixed signs. Two was boots on the ground. And three is fairs and festivals. Gatherings where you really have a good chance of personal communication, where you can get out there, get in a position, and communicate to people. The Right to Life organizations, that the county organizations very often do this at county festivals, the county fair. Yeah. They're getting ready in Colorado at the Colorado State Fair. So those three areas say, okay, and they kind of do an inventory of those three. Okay, fixed signs, boots on the ground, fairs and festival. What could we do in our community? Is there a fair or a festival? Sometimes churches have festivals. Are members of churches, even faithful churches, are the members always pro-life? No, they're not. So you have to be talking to them, have flyers, have the baby models. Powerful. Gosh, the little girls especially, oh, how they love those soft to the touch models. So I think anyone out there, if they took a look at their community, the yard signs, if you got $40 that you can spare, I'll send you 10 great yard signs.
Incredible. John, with Pro-Life in the Public Square, one last time, how could people get a hold of you? What website could they look up to make sure?
Okay, well, I'm going to say, Pro-Life in the Public Square is the name of the organization. And we have the website. We also have a Facebook group named Pro-Life in the Public Square. And we just kind of limit it to Public Square outreach. So you can put in the search on Facebook, Pro-Life in the Public Square, and that will pop up, and make that a place that you visit quite a bit and see. It's about seeing what's happening in the public square, and the website, and it's an educational website. I talk about what's being done and why we should do it. So I have to be an evangelist. I can't just go out like a Christian and say, well, do Christian things. Well, first you have to become a Christian. You have to believe in it. Then you do stuff. Well, I got to get people to believe in. That as valuable as all the existing other branches are today. I'd be comfortable as if I thought, well, we were losing some of those statewide ballots, but we got it together now. No, I'm afraid we're about to lose Virginia shortly. And then also getting in touch with me. Email is my major way of communication, pro-lifewaco@gmail.com. And I'd speak a pitch for the yard signs. Gosh, you know 10 people? Or is your church? Oh, wow, is that powerful? If your church would put out 3 yard signs and go look at the yard signs. The last one we did has a family theme of mom and baby and dad in the Beautiful photo. So we got some stuff out there that I think you'll be interested in. Pray about it. Get 2 or 3 people together and say, well, let's do this. You got to have something happening monthly. The yearly events are great, like Life Shape. But to say we have an organization, you don't have to have a 501c3. Although if you grow a little bit, they have changed the application for 501c3 so that small groups can get 501c3 status very easily. The opportunity is there. I look at cities of Texas and they're pro-life people there, but it's almost like this branch of the tree is invisible. So that's what I'd love for you to join this collaboration. Collaboration is a big word for me in the pro-life movement. We need to be collaborative, okay? And I applaud you for what you're doing, Brian, in your ministries and in your webcast to bring the voices of other people like mine today. It's somewhat different, but that's something in the pro-life movement. We're not a cookie cutter group. I think if you look at the people in your own organization, there's a big variety of people, characters, and background, and so forth. Well, we're diverse in the pro-life movement, but we come together around something that we just got to fight for life.
Well, thanks again for being on the program. Pro-life in the public square. John, thank you for being on the program.
So much for this opportunity. I look forward to seeing you, Brian.